Recently, I've been looking on the social media at a map of items that we import. I don't know how true it is. We have to, but I mean, it says 1 billion worth of tomatoes. I wonder.
The President-elect, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Edin Semia Tuja, concerning the taxes, concerning the E-Levies, and some other things, Now, what in some way to Jamaica, we see a CEO phone in a walk Ghana, no, just a gurus nankasa. Yes, Your Excellency, in some of the two journey, and say this time around, even though we were buying one as one in a body, but money CEO for and as a businessman, no, they have to share ideas on how to help and also abolish some of the taxes. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Edituja, by Mr. Kaisa Hanum ABJ show. Kaisa subscribe. I think we are sharing link in the map for.
Recently, I've been looking on the social media at a map of items that we import. I don't know how true it is. We have to, but I mean, it says 1 billion worth of tomatoes. I wonder how we can eat 1 billion worth of tomatoes a year from outside and not be able to produce it ourselves when we have a comparative advantage to be able to do so. But you come from a wide range of business, and so I speak fairly across the business spectrum that if confidence in the business environment is high, it affects everybody. We know that the economy is in severe crisis. Recently, the managers of the economy and those in government have tried to create a more upbeat, final note before they leave. But I can assure you it's a fluke. The crisis is severe and the crisis is real. Some of the numbers I'm seeing show that we're nowhere near out of the abyss into which we've been plunged. And as I said yesterday, even the energy sector alone can total everything that we've done so far, because the audited energy sector bills keep going up, and the lights have been kept on artificially because we're piling on the debt to the IPPs. If the IPPs wanted to call their debts or shut off the lights, we'll be in total darkness today. But they have invested in Ghana already, and they are not willing to pull the plug immediately. We've held some advanced meetings with them to see how, as soon as we hit the ground running, we can sit and negotiate and see how we can reach an agreement on the debt we owe them, and how we can immediately, surgically look at the energy sector so that we can bring in more efficiency, especially in the downstream ECG, which I call the sick man of the energy sector, because if we don't cure ECG and do radical surgery, this whole thing is in danger of imploding, and if it does, it will have dire consequences for business and for everybody who's in business in Ghana. But I just want to thank you for your congratulations and to assure you that I'll have an open door. Government will deal with you as transparently as possible in the environment of a win-win, that government wins and you also win. So I'm open to ideas, I'm open to suggestions. One of the main issues we have to tackle is the whole tax system. It is in such a mess. I mean, people in the same market are paying different levels of tax. And how do we rationalize all the value-added taxes? We currently are the highest payers of value-added tax at 21.9% in Africa. And so compliance is a problem. If people can avoid the tax, they will avoid it. But if the tax is transparent and fair, people are more willing to pay. And so how do we sit and rationalize those taxes? We've started that discussion with the IMF. For them, they say, well, the particular tax is not our problem. It's your revenue to GDP that we're looking at. And so the easy way for government is just to formulate new taxes and continue to pile it on the back of the same donkey, forgetting that the donkey's back can break. And so how do we spread the burden on the donkey's back so that it doesn't break the donkey's back? That for us is the challenge that we face. And we'll start that discussion immediately after. We have some ideas, but I think that this is a stakeholder issue and that we have to reach it by consensus rather than just go sit by ourselves and impose things on everybody else. And so as soon as we have sworn in, we'll sit with you guys. We'll give you the ideas we have, we'll get the ideas from you, and see how we can rationalize the taxes, make them more transparent, more fair, so that everybody is willing to carry their part of the burden instead of just imposing it on just a few businesses that in the formal sector. How do we draw more of the informal sector into the business net? And I was giving an example. Currently, my house is being repainted because I've become the president-elect. Somebody decides that they must paint the house. And so the whole house is being painted. They brought the invoice, I saw it. The person painting the house has no TIN number. It's charging me almost 60,000 cedis. I know some of it will go into material, but I mean, the part that is going to him, how do we make sure he's also paying his fair share of the taxes? So I was asking, I said, why aren't you registered for tax? Why don't you have a TIN number? He said, oh, but we do our work, we no be, so how do we get these people to pay their little bit? We're not saying we're going to take all their money, but if he's making even 2,500, I mean, if he pays 200 cedis or 300 cedis, and everybody is paying that little bit of 200 and 300, it will share the tax burden so that we're not just putting it on people in the formal sector. I'm sure there are best practices somewhere in the world we can learn from. And so, like I said, ideas are many all over the country. We have people who have some of the best ideas in terms of these things. And so we'll open ourselves to ideas from everywhere so that we can create an optimal environment for all of us to be able to do our businesses and thrive. But I just want to assure you, like I said before the election, that we will sit with your leaders. Ejiri is a good friend, and we'll see how we can, from time to time, hold a discussion and listen to all of you and what opportunities are there. You might come up with new ideas. You have issues with state agencies, how we can make them work more in your interest, and let them know that public service is to encourage and promote the growth of the economy and businesses, and not that they are a law unto themselves. And so all the bottlenecks that are there that we can take out, we'll be happy to discuss with you so that we can all move this country forward.
So that's the president-elect, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. The NDC promised us to abolish the E-Levy and then some other taxes. Yes, sir. Ahanum BJ show. Subscribe. I think so we are sharing link in my offer. And the next thing is you leave a comment.